What's going on, everybody? Matt in the hat, John North Ford Lincoln Nissan here in Emporia. It is Thursday, so it is time for Throat Punch Thursday. Today is officially episode 2. I got a little confused last week with counting. I'm in sales, so what can I say? It happens. But today is officially episode 2, and it's that time of year, so I wanted to really bring up this topic, just truth, straight out the door. Why am I upside down in my vehicle? We get this every year, March to May time, and why do I have negative equity in my vehicle? First, what is negative equity? Negative equity is what happens when the amount you owe on a vehicle is more than the amount it's worth. So if I have a vehicle, I owe $15,000 on the vehicle. The appraisal value of what it's worth is $12,000. So that gap is the negative equity. So negative equity is $3,000. So let me reassure many of you watching, you're not alone. 1/3 of the people that come into the dealership to trade cars, sell cars, upgrade cars, whatever it is, 1/3 of them are upside down. Why? Because the average vehicle loan now is 72 months, not 48 months. With that extra time frame, it takes longer to overcome that negative equity. Why? How does this happen? What did I do? What did you do to me? You screwed me. Why did you screw me? Here's a couple reasons how this happens. First of all, you may not put any money down when you get your vehicle, when you trade in your vehicle, upgrade your vehicle, whatever. You may not put any money down. You may also finance the sales tax. So there's 2 reasons right there why you could be negative. If you have had negative equity from a previous loan that you're rolling over to your new one, for the first few years, you're going to have negative equity. So if you have, I've had people that have rolled over $5,000 in negative equity. That's a minimum of rolling over $100 payment right there, just in negative equity. I've had this as well. Trade too early, too often. I have a buddy of mine, he trades every 2 years. Doesn't matter what the vehicle is, every 2 years, he wonders why he is upside down almost $10,000 in his vehicle, because he makes the minimum payment, which is the next one on the list. He makes the minimum payment, drives the shit out of it for 2 years, and then trades it off. You can't make the minimum payment and trade every 2 years without money down, without paying the sales tax, without making more than just the minimum payment. Hands down. So here's 4 ways to get out of negative equity, or just the break-even point in your vehicle. Number 1, stick with your current car. Sticking with your current car, your current loan, a little bit longer allows you to build the equity in it, or at least reach that break-even point where you're $15,000, you owe $15,000, it's worth $12,000, you keep paying, now you're at that break-even point, and it's a little easier to trade in. So you don't have equity in the vehicle, but you don't have negative equity in the vehicle now too. Number 2, if you're set on buying or trading, one of the things that helps the most is buying a new vehicle with huge rebates. So for example, right now, our 2018 F-150s are $12,000 off MSRP. Our Ford Focuses, $3,000 off. Ford Fusion, $3,000 off. So those rebates help offset some of that negative equity that people have. Number 2, not recommended, but people do, and if they want us to, we will do it. Again, you make this decision. We, as salespeople, do not. We don't hold a gun to your head and say, buy it. It's not how it works. Number 3 is lease. This can minimize the amount of negative equity that you have. It's not recommended because if it's not a minimal amount of negative equity, like $1,000, maybe $2,000, where it's in some cases $4,000 or $5,000, that is going to drastically increase that amount. And the reason I bring up the lease, because there's a lot of loyalty programs with vehicles, with manufacturers like Ford and Nissan, if you lease, or a conquest. So like right now, Ford has a conquest going on for anybody on a lot of F-150s. If you don't own an F-150, you can get up to $1,000 off on top of all the rebates. And finally, number 4 is making larger payments or refinancing. I combine those two because they go hand in hand. So larger payments overall, instead of just making the minimum payment, eat up that negative equity sooner, as well as refinancing for a lower interest rate can help that as well. I hope this helps. I tried to be as direct as I possibly can, without being a dick. I really want to help people out, help you guys understand whether you're negative equity or not. There are ways to get out of it. There are ways around it. There are ways that you can trade every 2 years, every 3 years. It's called a lease. You can do that. Call me, 620-794-1032. Happy to answer any lease questions I can for you. But as far as negative equity, if you keep your car a year, by the way, you haven't made 12 payments in that year, because 95% of you delay your payments out as long as you possibly can. So you haven't even made 12 payments in the year you've had it. Keep that in mind. Keep it 12 months, 24 months. It doesn't matter. You have to see where you're at compared to the value of the vehicle. And if you have questions about the value of your vehicle, please feel free to call me, 620-794-1032. I need to make that into a jingle. If y'all are creative, you can help me out. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, Throat Punch Thursday. Matt in the Hat, also known as the Matt Hatter. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.